Hello everybody, it's Molly with AllEars and I'm here today with a brand new video. Guess what friends, Halloween season is upon us and I am at Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights. This is their big epic scary event that they do every year, and this year is the 30th year of Halloween Horror Nights. We are going to be checking out everything that this event has to offer, from all 10 houses, scare zones, eats, treats. We are going to check out this event together to see if it is scary, if it's fun, if it's both, if it's something you should do. I'm not going to lie to you friends, there's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre house in there that I'm absolutely terrified of. I hope you're ready, I hope you're excited, I'm scared, but let's go. Before we get too far into HHN 30, I do have to let you know that this is not for children. This event is definitely geared towards an older audience. So if you have young children with you, or you yourself are not fans of horror or gore, or maybe you just don't want the HHN houses spoiled for you, I'm sorry to say this is not my video for you. PSA, before we get too far into the video, I do want to let you know I filmed this over 2 nights, and the first night of Halloween Horror Nights, I was an invited guest of Universal Orlando, which meant I got to film inside the houses and at some of the shows, which typically you are not allowed to do. So I just want to let you know I was invited by Universal Orlando, but that does not affect my thoughts process, anything about this event. Whenever we're invited as guests, we'll always let you know, and it will not affect anything we say. I'm always going to be honest with you, even if I'm an invited guest of someone. But the second night I filmed this, I paid for my ticket just like anybody else, so that's the deal with that. It's very, very popular, so if you're coming, get here as early as possible. There is a special entrance for resort guests though. Now, one thing you want to be aware of when you're coming to Halloween Horror Nights, it is a very, very popular event. People line up very, very early to get in, and then they make a break for their favorite house. So whatever the most popular house is, I would say Beetlejuice is going to be really popular this year. Haunting on the Hill House. Oh my gosh, there's already people running around being scary. Those are all going to be really popular houses, so my recommendation, get here early and go get in line at whatever house you want to kick off the night. Tickets for Halloween Horror Nights range from $70.99 to $97.99, depending on the day of the week. There are extras you can add on, including Express Pass, which ranges from $89.99 to $189.99, depending on the day you are coming. Express Pass will allow you to bypass the line at the houses. And so if you're only coming for one night and you want to get a bunch of houses done, I definitely recommend looking into Express Pass. And if your budget will allow, I think it will be a good purchase for you. Another way that you can guarantee yourself to see a bunch of houses is to sign up for the RIP tour. Get it? Instead of VIP, it's RIP. You get it. This is a VIP style tour. It ranges between $300 and $400 per person, but you will have a VIP guide that not only gets you in VIP access to all of the houses, but will explain a lot of the backstory and the details and the history of the houses. You will also get access to special food and drink lounges. You'll get some included food with that. So if this is like your event, if you've always wanted to come to Halloween Horror Nights and you've saved up for it, I do think the RIP tour is very fun. Another extra you can add on is the Unmasking of Halloween Horror Nights tour. That is a daytime tour that you can choose. There's a couple different options. There's a 3-house or a 6-house tour. You're actually going to go in them with lights up, so you can see a little bit more behind the scenes of how they bring these incredible houses to life. So if you're a diehard fan, that sounds really cool. I might come do that later this year because it sounds really, really neat. It starts at $79.99 or $129.99 for the 3-house versus the 6-house, and it does go up a little bit depending on when you come, but if you're a diehard fan, that seems like something that would be really, really neat. Speaking of masks, we got to do our quick safety PSA before we get in there too far. Currently, there is no mask requirement at Universal Orlando, either indoors or outdoors. They are heavily encouraging guests to wear masks indoors, and they do have vinyl in between you and the performers unless they're going to be more than 6 feet away from you, or unless they're going to be far enough away from you. All of the performers will have masks on in some fashion, whether that be like a normal mask or whether that be like a costume mask, but all the performers will have masks on. There's no social distancing or anything in the houses. You're going to go in like you have before, so I personally wore a mask in all the houses and in some of the scare zones and things, but there's no official rule that says you need to. Of course, the main reason that people come to Halloween Horror Nights are the haunted houses. These are gigantic haunted houses. They've turned sound stages and other buildings into these incredible houses that are like completely immerse you into a story, whether it be something from pop culture like Beetlejuice, a Netflix series like The Haunting in Hill House, or a Universal original story. These houses are complex and so detailed, and there's 10 of them in total. We are going to go into all 10 throughout this video today. I will share with you my ranking of how fun they are, how scary they are. We are going to rank each of the houses on a scale of 1 to 5. Jack the Clowns. Jack the Clown is the legendary icon of Halloween Horror Nights, so we're going to rank each of the houses throughout the evening on those. Do note for the houses, the lines get very, very long. Anywhere from 45 minutes to well over an hour on busy nights is how long you will see the houses. So my advice to you, if you're not going to do the Express Pass, if you're not going to do the RIP tour, get here as early as possible, and then go straight for the house that you think will be the most popular. I'm thinking Beetlejuice, Haunting on Hill House, and HHN Icons are going to be very, very popular, so you may want to go to those first or save those till the very end of the night. But those are definitely going to be your popular houses. All of them are great, but you are going to spend a fair amount of time waiting in line. I do not think without a VIP tour or without Express Pass, it's possible to do all of the houses most nights, which is why a lot of folks opt for the Frequent Fear Pass, which is a multi-day, almost like a seasonal pass just for Halloween Horror Nights, so that you can come do a couple of houses each time and go again and again. But if you're a diehard fan, I bet you already have one of those. The first house I'm going into is called Case Files Unearthed Legendary Truth. This harkens back to Halloween Horror Nights several years ago, which HHN fans will remember. They actually have different totems, and it's going to go between the 90s and the 50s as a detective tries to figure out what went wrong with these totems, because a man disappeared. He finds his apartment, and he's trying to piece together what went wrong. So it's going to be a little film noir. We're going to go back and forth. There are ghouls. I'm a little stressed. This one actually takes place inside one of the Shrek 4D theaters. There's actually 2 theaters for the show. So they have completely torn the seats out of one of them, and they have put in a haunted house from scratch. Then they will have to rip that down and replace the seats and get the show back to order. So you can still see Shrek 4D. Quincy will be very happy about that. But it will be a lower capacity because one of the theaters is being used for Halloween Horror Nights.
Started with the main tokens. Up until that night, it was dark for it. Now what were the other tokens? More sheets to pray to things. He's gonna eat my teas. Up until that night, it was done for belly up. You brought the ugly, I'm bringing the leg. On all things,
oh my gosh, I hate touching things. I do not like this.
I wonder why there's no gorilla working the door.
I'm going to give my first house a 2.5 jacks. There were a couple moments where I definitely screamed, but overall I didn't think it was that scary. I did think it was a really fun house though. I really liked the story. I liked the flipping back and forth between the film noir and the 90s, but it wasn't as scary as I think it could be. So it's only gets worse from here. A very cool detail, Boris Schuster Private Investigation, that is on the window right here, and that is the detective we just saw in the house. So way to go, Universal. That's an awesome Easter egg. Right across the street is the Kitty Cat Club, which is the club we saw that things weren't going so well there at the time, but that's from the house. Isn't that cool? My tour group has decided that I have to go first. So, okay, here we go. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I can do it. I can do it. I'm not scared. I am very brave. Okay, it smells like a barbecue in here. It smells like a Maybe we're going to a barbecue. It'll be fine. We're going to a barbecue. I don't want to go to this barbecue. Sexy. Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I hate this. No, I don't. This is great. This is so fun. Oh my gosh. Massacre 5 jacks because it's very scary. There's lots of people chasing you with chainsaws. There's body parts everywhere. But I gotta give credit where credit's due. These houses are amazing. They're incredible sets that they're putting in here, but they're a nightmare at the same time. I just checked the house wait times in the app. Just for a record, it's 8:15. It is a Saturday, but it's a slow season right now, so the lines aren't too bad. The longest wait looks like it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre at 60 minutes. Haunting on Hill House is 50 minutes. Everything else is 45 or less, including Beetlejuice, so you might get lucky if you come on a very slow night and be able to knock out a bunch of the houses, but on the weekends typically, and as it gets closer to Halloween, it will definitely get busier and busier. Just like Epcot's International Food and Wine Festival, there are food kitchens all over Halloween Horror Nights. That's the only comparison to the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival. But there are food kitchens that you can get specialty beverages, snacks, treats, eats, lots of good stuff. So we are going to sample some of that food throughout the day. And there are definitely some cult favorites that are back. Twisted taters, pizza fries, pumpkin beer. You know we're going to eat all the good stuff. Time for our first snack stop. This is from the Sweet Shop, which is right outside of a Rip Ride Rocket. I have two things here. First, we have the Monte Cristo waffle stick. This is a ham and cheese stuffed waffle topped with raspberry sauce and powdered sugar. Yum. And then this is an Ace Space beer float. It is a Space Bloody orange cider, so an orange cider, boozy, and vanilla ice cream topped with whipped cream and an orange slice, a dehydrated orange slice. So that looks very delicious. Let's try this waffle stick first. That bite was mostly waffle, because I got the end, so it's mostly the very good waffle and sauce, but let's get in there more. Okay, that time I got it. I was expecting like big chunks of ham, but it's actually little pieces. It's a very well-cooked waffle. I like the raspberry sauce. I wish there was more of the ham and cheese, so it balanced the sweet and salty a little bit more. But now let's try this float. That tastes like an orange cider and vanilla ice cream. I really like the cider, actually. It's more tart than it is sweet. I don't love super sweet ciders, but that's a very good cider. I've had that one on its own. I love orange. It's one of my favorite fruits. And then the vanilla ice cream on top just adds a little funness. I don't know if most people would rather just have a cider or a beer. They've got a lot of craft beers around the event, but it's just fun if you want to drink your dessert. Another great thing at the Halloween Horror Nights events are scare zones. These are different sections of the park where they've got performers wandering around. Some are up on stages, some walk and mingle in amongst you and try to scare you. I bet you could have guessed that. There are 5 different scare zones this year. I think the most popular one is definitely going to be the 30 Years of 30 Fears, celebrating characters from the past 30 years of Halloween Horror Nights. There's also Seek and Destroy. There is one featuring Eddie, which is Jack the Clown's brother. So those scare zones, make sure you walk through those as well, but beware. This is the 30 Years, 30 Fears scare zone. This one features icons from Halloween Horror Nights over the past 30 years. So beware. You may see some familiar faces if you're a lifelong fan.
Once upon a time, I told the story.
Oh my gosh.
You are not insulted and rude behavior. Oh, it's only a little bit.
classic horror theme, featuring, of course, the Bride of Frankenstein. You're also going to see Frankenstein's monster and Dr. Frankenstein himself, based on the 1930 sequel to Frankenstein. This is all about the Bride of Frankenstein trying to bring back Frankenstein's monster, but this one is a Universal Classic Monsters house, and it's time. Bride of Frankenstein lives. I award 3 jacks. It's really just a beautiful love story when you think about it. She wants her love back and she succeeds in getting him. But I did jump quite a few times, so it still got me good, but I liked that story. The next one we're going into is called Revenge of the Tooth Fairy. Have you ever wondered what happened if you didn't leave your tooth fairy your tooth? This is what happens because some dumb little kid named James in the 1900s decides not to leave the tooth fairy his teeth. Turns out we as humans made a pact with these evil fairies that if we didn't leave them our children's milk teeth, aka baby teeth, they could come murder us all. So they did it. Stupid James.
Okay, Lord forgiven.
But spoiled James just shook his. One night, a tooth fairy appeared in the bedroom of young James Westthorne, who recently lost his first tooth.
The very folk unkind. Lord forgiven.
But spoiled James just shook his head.
So what if they are? They can't have it, and nothing will change my mind.
Better hurt us and take you away. You'll be doomed to live forever as a cursed monster.
I don't care.
I don't want to go through here.
Cheeks turned red. Western blood was all little James's Just ask James. There is no
I award Revenge of the Tooth Fairy 5 jacks, but I think this one is one of the best designs of any of the houses. I think that the monsters are super duper scary. Those little fairies are very, very scary. I love the like gothic style architecture, and I love the pop-up storybook, and I jumped like 57 times having to go through those bloody sheets, having those little fairies jump out at you. That one is super duper scary, but like really creative and really fun. You know, sometimes it's nice to just walk around through these scare zones and enjoy a nice beverage and just walking around talking to the people. Our next scare zone is here outside of the Mummy. This is Seek and Destroy, where the controller has tried to take over, and anyone that disobeys must be seeked, then destroyed. There's a lot of like spotlights and signs that say things like submit to the controller. It's very dystopian. I'm a little stressed. It's very Hunger Games.
This human heartbeat is unmatched, and you will never obtain what she has.
You seem very nice.
Money. I can give you more than wealth. I can give you power.
You wanna hang out?
I can give you strength. I can give you
Go up there.
immortality.
Okay.
All you have to do is submit to the controller. What if you want human? Are you here to document what you see before you?
I am here to document, yeah.
Good. Document well and share with the world.
I will share. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Right here near Transformers and the Mummy, right in between, we've got two carts here. One of them is where you can get the Jacko burger, which is a burger on a donut, as well as the wings. And then this one closer to us is where you can get a variety of fried foods, including a fried peanut butter and jelly sandwich, fried Twinkies, and fried Oreos. Tonight we are trying the fried PB&J. It's a fried Uncrustable with hot honey drizzles on it, and then the fried Oreos, which are Oreos dipped in cake batter and then fried. First up, fried peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Your girl loves a PB&J. So what's not to love about a fried PB&J with a little hot honey on it? Peanut butter and fried are still definitely the strongest flavors, but you get a little bit of the fruit in there. That is delightful. Oh yeah. Let's also not forget the fried Oreo. I'm so happy right now because I love Oreos like a lot. And it just tastes like a warm Oreo. I'm not getting a real strong flavor from the batter. It doesn't specifically taste like cake batter. It mostly just tastes like a warm, gooey Oreo. You get 4 of them, very shareable. This is a delightful dessert. This is my favorite sweet thing I've had for sure. We are now headed into what is probably the most highly anticipated house of this year if you're an HHN fan. This is Halloween Horror Nights Icons Unleashed. So this is where you're going to find Jack, the storyteller, the director, the usher, the caretaker. All of the icons that have been part of Halloween Horror Nights, they have all been unleashed here in this house. So if you're an HHN stan, this is probably the house you're most excited about. I'm personally terrified because I don't love clowns, and apparently that's why they chose Jack as the original icon. They polled people when they wanted to make an original icon, and most people said they were afraid of clowns, which is why Jack is the original icon of Halloween Horror Nights. Okay, the Icons house was awesome, and I'm not even like a long-standing HHN stan. Like, I didn't know about all the icons until I started coming to this event a few years ago. For scare factor, I would give it like a 3 or a 4, but for awesomeness, I'm gonna give that 5 Jacks, because I think having all the icons together, Jack, the director, the storyteller, Lady Luck, Chance, Caretaker, all of them together in one house was really, really cool. The sets were really cool. I love that they had the tortured souls from different years. This probably means less to you than like Beetlejuice or Haunting on Hill House or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, those like well-known horror films. But I think if you're an HHN fan, that was awesome. Okay, time to try some of the Halloween Horror Nights food. Now, this is presented to me at the media event, so it was served buffet style. However, all of these things are available throughout the park at little outdoor kitchens for an added fee. So they're going to be plated differently, but this is the same food that they serve. So taking a look, we've got the Jack O Donut Sliders, which is a beef cheeseburger on a donut with a bourbon. It's a bourbon glazed donut, so I don't love donuts, but that does look pretty good. We also have some carnivore smoked wings. They're sweet chili jumbo wings with barbecue kettle chips made in-house. This is the Field of Screams Goiza. It's spicy ground turkey and butternut squash inside with a ponzu sauce. And then we also have the pumpkin guts right here, which are butternut squash and zucchini noodles. There's hazelnuts in there, pumpkin seeds, and brown butter. I'm also sampling the Maltaschen. I cannot say that, I'm sorry. It's a German-style lasagna, but it's actually plant-based because it's Beyond Meat, spinach, mushrooms, caramelized onions, and a vegetable broth. And then this is the poison tea punch that you can get at a lot of the different carts. It is tea and lemonade, huckleberry, and then Myers rum. I'm gonna really be facing my fears tonight on many levels, including I'm gonna eat some of this donut. I mean, it tastes like a donut, and the glaze on it is super duper sweet. But the burger's cooked well, the cheese is good. I like the barbecue sauce, and I think if you like donuts, you'll definitely enjoy this one. I just don't love donuts, but it's actually not bad. Next up, I'm gonna try some of the wings. Okay, those are good wings. They're not too sweet or too spicy, but they've got a nice sauce to them. They're not over sauced either, so they're gonna be messy because they're wings, but they're not like dripping in sauce. They're really good. They're cooked perfectly. Let's try the ribs too. Good ribs. You got that Coca-Cola barbecue sauce. If you like ribs, great choice. They're very messy, but they're well cooked. They taste smoked. They're great. Now I'm gonna try the pumpkin guts, which is a nice like squash and zucchini. Very elevated food for a Halloween scare event at Universal. I'm impressed. It's a very earthy. It tastes like squash and zucchini, which is exactly what it is, but it's actually got a little bit of a heat to it from all the spice on there. That's a very interesting dish. I don't think most people are going to go for that over like twisted taters or a donut burger, but if you are a healthier eater or vegetarian eater, that's really nice. And last but not least, I'm trying the ponzu for this round. The spicy turkey in there is not too hot, but it does have a little bit of heat. That ponzu sauce on the goiza is excellent. It was pan-seared perfectly. That was my favorite, along with the wings. Let's try this plant-based dish. I taste plant-based. It does not taste like meat to me, but it's got good flavor because of the caramelized onions and the mushrooms. It's very flavorful, very earthy. Not something I'd recommend to my meat eaters, though. I think you're going to want to go for like the ribs or the wings were really good, but if you are a plant-based eater, it's good to know that there is a good savory option for you. But it's really not bad. But now let's try this duck now. So it's a sweet rum cocktail. It's a little too sweet for my liking. I was hoping the lemonade would balance it, but it's still definitely sweet. But it mostly tastes like rum and tea and lemonade, which is exactly what it is. Not bad at all. And if you like rum drinks, I think you'll enjoy it. But they also sell a lot of different craft beers here, pumpkin beers, a lot of fun things. So this isn't something I would get again, but I don't like sweet drinks, so this one wouldn't. I'm not the target audience for this one anyway. This next scare zone is called Lights, Camera, Haxon. Get it? Eddie's Revenge. Allegedly, Eddie is Jack the Clown's brother. Why would one brother be a clown and one be a chainsaw-wielding murderer? I don't know. I also don't know why I assume being a clown is biological. But anyway, Eddie's gonna try and kill us. Let's go! The amount of smoke is very stressful. This guy seems nice. Are you nice? Yeah, you're nice. I'm not scared of you. Look at this guy. This guy's nice. Okay, now something sinister is happening around here. Because I'm at a food truck, but I see human body parts. That is concerning. Hello? You seem very nice. No.
Are you ready for blood, kids? Let me get a hell yeah. Hell yeah! Ready to see some people die tonight? Let me get a hell yeah. If you're ready to see one of your friends die, let me get a hell yeah.
Sure.
You guys are messed up. Yes, I am.
I just caught Jack. One thing that is fun about this event, if you are a diehard HHN fan, you'll love that Jack the Clown does pop up at random. He will just pop up on random stages, usually with a megaphone. He'll cheer and he'll rile up the crowd and he'll say creepy things. But if you're an HHN fan, it's almost like a weird character meet and greet at random times, but you know, terrifying. Also, I love this detail that Mel's Drive-In only lights up die-in. There are 2 shows you can catch as well. There's Marathon of Mayhem Carnage Factory. That is a projection show on the water in the center of the park. It is like the show that they do throughout the year in normal times, but instead of projecting things from Universal movies like Jurassic World, E.T., whimsical fun things, they're gonna project Jack the Clown and things that are terrifying. How neat.
Where the nightmares are real. As the clock ticks, you wander off. What a terror you will feel.
Recommend for children. Oh my goodness, we are not in Disney anymore with this one and the amount of leather people are wearing. That's all I'll say. But this show is an acrobatic extravaganza. There's fire, there are ribbon dancers, there is just a lot of leather. I can't say that enough. Oh goodness. It's the Pumpkinhead Man. I love him. Anyway, Halloween Nightmare Fuel happens a couple of times a night, and it is the story of a man who wakes up and he's in a nightmare, and then all these demons try and take him. So we're gonna check that out as well.
Welcome to the nightmare.
shows go, I don't think I would prioritize either one over things like the houses and the scare zones and getting food. I think that the Halloween Nightmare Fuel has some very cool elements. I'm always dazzled when people can do incredible acrobatics, and I love a good pyro moment, but I don't think it's worth waiting in a long line for to get into the show and miss out possibly doing another house. However, it is very cool, and if you've been before, you want to see something new, why not check it out? I feel the same way about the show on the water. Very, very cool. You're going to have to make choices when you come to these events. There's not going to be a way to do everything unless you are doing that VIP tour. And for me, and I think for most people, you're going to want to prioritize the show. Prioritize the houses over the shows unless you're coming for multiple nights. The next scare zone is Crypt TV. This is actually a YouTube show where monsters live inside your television. I think there's monsters on the TV, scary things happen, monsters. That's what I got. Hello, what Hogwarts house are you in? Looks like Ravenclaw. Oh, so sorry. Don't want to be in your way.
I know. You gotta go up to literally close to it.
It's about 9:30, little wait time update for you. Most of the houses have at least an hour. The only one that's not around an hour is Welcome to Scary, has 45. The Halloween Horror Nights Icons has 95. And the rest of them, Bride of Frankenstein has 45, but the rest of them are an hour or right around an hour, 55 minutes, 65 minutes, something like that. So obviously I'm gonna come say hello to my best friend. Hi, Bruce. I love you so much. Now, some of you may think he fits in perfectly with Halloween Horror Nights because he's a monster, but I say, how dare you? I think he's just misunderstood. I think he probably just wanted to say hi to everybody on the beach, and he didn't deserve what happened to him. And I love you very much, Bruce, and I'm sorry that Chief Brody hunted you. Next house I'm headed to, house number 6. It is Welcome to Scary, Horror in the Heartland. It's actually themed after a real small town in Ohio called Cary. A Universal executive is from there, and they have themed several haunted houses after Scary, Cary, Ohio over the years. So this house is actually an accumulation of several of those houses. So each room, each section has different references to other houses they have staged in Cary, Ohio throughout the years. So HHN fans will love these throwbacks.
Hold on to your hats, you crazy cats, with another spin. Rock and roll whirlwind on the blades. Plug.
You know, I was prepared to give Scary a 2.5 jacks, but I actually think, because the few scenes at the end really got me good, I gotta give it like a 3. I think if I was more of a diehard HHN fan who's been watching HHN or coming to HHN forever and could appreciate more of the scenes and the moments and the callbacks to other houses, I would have liked it more, but it wasn't super duper scary till the end. There was a butcher scene that really got me good, so this one just wasn't as fun or as exciting as some of the other ones, but, you know, let me know what you think in the comments. And if you want some more Universal fun, there are a few attractions that stay open throughout the night. Revenge of the Mummy, Men in Black, Transformers, and Rip Ride Rocket will all remain open, as well as Diagon Alley, where you can do Escape from Gringotts. You can get Florian Fortis use ice cream, as well as some drinks at the Fountain of Fair Fortune. Now, do note that Diagon Alley sometimes will close a little bit earlier than the event. It usually runs till 1 or 2, depending on the night. So just note that Diagon Alley might close a little bit early, but you can do some non-HHN things while you're here if you'd like to. All right, friends, we are headed into House 7. This is Puppet Theater, Captive Audience. It takes place in 1907, 1 year after the deadly earthquakes in San Francisco. We are going into a theater that was ruined by the earthquakes. At the theater at the time, there were 2 different groups. There was a puppet troupe as well as a ballet. The puppet troupe, after the earthquake, they were all trapped there, and the puppet troupe started going insane and decided to turn anyone they could into their puppets because the show must go on.
Shush you. Besides, the show must go on.
Puppet Theater, I'm gonna have to give it 3.5 jacks. It was much scarier than I thought it would be, and I liked the theater trope that played throughout. I really had no expectations going into that one, but that was a really fun original theme, so I liked that one. There is a pretty long line for our next snack, but in my opinion, it's worth it. It's the real reason I'm here. It's Twisted Taters. This is a signature dish here at Halloween Horror Nights, and I can't wait, but there is a very long line for it right now. Just a warning. Twisted Taters are an HHN icon, and they've got more flavors than ever this year. They have got all of these flavors rubbed on your potato, including ghost pepper. They've also got one tossed in chili and red pepper queso. They have one twirled around a hot dog. These are a must at HHN. Here she is in all of her glory, my Twisted Tater. So as you can see, it's a potato that they thinly spiral and then they toss in seasoning of your choice. This is the ghost pepper because I'm feeling dangerous. Here we go. She said, "Do you want extra ghost pepper?" And I said, "Yeah." Why did I do that? Ooh! Well, once you get past the initial shock, okay, I'm sweating now. Once you get past the initial shock, it's really not bad. If you don't like spice, I wouldn't eat this one, and I wouldn't let her put extra on it, but the potato is cooked perfectly. It's nice and crispy. It's like almost a potato chip, but not quite. I really like the sour cream and chive one if you don't want to do this to your body. But actually, now that I'm over the initial shock, I think it's delicious. Around the event, you will see a lot of carts that are just drink carts. They have two signature beverages, the Poison Tea Party and the Ghoul Juice. And then they've got a variety of beers. There is a souvenir cup you can get. If that tickles you, it lights up. It's very exciting. But they've got some craft beers like a pumpkin ale, an IPA, an orange blossom pilsner, some canned beers, and some wine. So you'll see lots of those around. Also right here near Jimmy Fallon, we have the We Slaughter Barbecue that's themed to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Here's where you can get your ribs. I need a little something to wash my face down after the very spicy potato, which I did end up enjoying quite a bit. I got over the initial shock. But what better than a pumpkin beer? That's one of my favorite things about the season. And they do have pumpkin beer at the beer carts. But a great thing they have are these cool souvenir cups. It's got the mummy on it. We love to see it. And they actually do a great deal if you are planning on being here for a while and having a couple adult beverages. The souvenir cup is only about $3-4 more than a regular beer, but it's 20 ounces versus 12 ounces. Oh my gosh, creatures up there. Hey buddy. It's 20 ounces versus 12 ounces, so you're getting more beer, and they're refillable for only $10. And you can refill them with any beverage you'd like at these special drink carts that we're seeing. So if you want to put the boozy rum punches in there, you can. The variety of craft beers, you don't have to refill it with the same thing you got initially. And I feel like I know the exact spot we should go to enjoy this pumpkin beer. So Diagon Alley is open during Halloween Horror Nights, and it's a lot less crowded than it is normally during the day. And look how cool it is in here at night. Is this not the best place to have our beer? It is good to note that the Leaky Cauldron is open tonight, so several quick service restaurants are actually open throughout the event. So if you're feeling something more than just a couple of things at the outdoor kitchens and the outdoor kiosks, there are several full menus available for you at the quick service restaurants around the park. Welcome to Diagon Alley. Oh my gosh, it's so cool in here at night. We're gonna have our pumpkin beer. Ooh, that is uber deliciously pumpkin. That is so autumnal. That's one of the best pumpkin beers I've ever had. That is fantastic. Very, very pumpkin-y. So if you like pumpkin beers, you'll enjoy this one as well. The dragon just spit fire at night. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. This is why you come to Halloween Horror Nights. I get it now. You come here, you drink pumpkin beer in a quiet Diagon Alley at night. I get it. I get it. But now we are headed into Wicked Growth, Realm of the Pumpkin. This is kind of a twist on the traditional Halloween as a holiday. And it is about who summons Halloween. Where does it come from? Well, it turns out his name is the Pumpkin Lord, and we must summon him. I don't think we want to.
All hail the Pumpkin Lord was found.
Whoa!
I'm the pretty one, yes!
Pumpkin Lord is very scary. At the end there, though, I liked that we were in a pumpkin. It made me feel wonderful because I love pumpkins so much, but he was very scary. I gotta give that one like a 3.5 or 4 as well. I really liked the unique Halloween theme, and I gotta say on a scary factor, that one's definitely a 4 because that one got me good several times. So that one's, I think, gonna be an underrated hit this year. We're about to go into our 5th and final scare zone. This is Gorewood Forest. This one is all about Tara, who was the queen, and she's mad, and she's back. And HHN fans of years past will recognize this one because she is a character that existed before. There she is. Oh my gosh, she's here, the queen. Very, very scary. Waited in a very long line to get this next snack. These are the iconic, the must-have, the pizza fries of Halloween Horror Nights. So these are French fries covered in marinara sauce, pepperoni, sausage, and cheese. And they're exactly what they're described as, pizza on top of French fries. I waited in a very long line for these, so let's hope they're worth it. Oh my gosh, look at that cheese. They're so delicious. They're definitely a cult favorite at Halloween Horror Nights. They are a must-do, just like the Twisted Taters. It's simple, flavor-wise, but it's delicious and a must-have. Definitely shareable serving. These are an HHN classic for good reason. Okay, it's house number 9 time. It's The Haunting at Hill House, based on the Netflix series. Very popular. I know this is definitely going to be a top house of the event because of how popular the series was. The house basically follows the plot of the show, so spoilers for the show if you haven't seen it. But my guide said they're spoilers without context. So like, I haven't seen the show because I'm too scared to watch it, and I'm going to have no idea what's going on. So there you go. I'm very excited. He said it's a real homage to the show, much like the Stranger Things house was a few years ago.
I saw Abigail in the window!
What isn't happening? Where's Mom?
I saw Abigail in the window!
What isn't happening? Where's Mom?
If she eats me from the inside and I burst like a blister, will you lose your
Gonna give The Haunting on Hill House like a 4.5 jacks. I jumped a lot of times, maybe a 5. Okay, I think if I had seen the show, it would be a 5. So it's only a 4.5 for me, who has not seen the show. But I felt like the sets were really cool, and what I liked about this one was technologically, it seems like the coolest house. They used a lot of really cool effects with different screens and projections, and I felt like technologically it was more advanced than some of the other houses. Plus, it had some really good jump scares. So if you are a fan of the show, I think you're gonna love it. Just walking into that first scene, I was like, oh, I'm walking into the show, and I've never even seen it. So I'm gonna give that about a 4.5 jacks. We only have one house left. Grabbed our next snack. This is from Nell's Tea Party Sandwiches. They have a bunch of different grilled cheeses, including a brisket grilled cheese, a Reuben grilled cheese, but this is the jalapeno popper grilled cheese, which I'm super jazzed about. It's jalapeno bacon, cheddar cheese, and jalapeno cream cheese on a grilled cheese sandwich. And I love jalapeno poppers, and I love grilled cheeses, so this feels like it was made for me. Okay, that is fabulous. I love jalapenos. I'm definitely getting the smoky jalapeno. A little bit of heat off of that. Definitely not as hot as the ghost pepper taters earlier, but definitely a little bit of heat. So if you're heat adverse, no on this one, but get one of the other flavors. I'm here for this. It's showtime. The main event is here, friends. It's our final house of the evening. Let's say his name 3 times. Beetlejuice. 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 We have made it to the Beetlejuice house, which I think is going to be one of, if not the most popular houses of the event, because who doesn't love Beetlejuice? He had his own house last year, but it wasn't to full form, and it was only for one day, and now, finally, we get to go see him. Beetlejuice is like a 2.5 or so. Like there was like maybe a 2. There was a few times where I got jumped a little bit, but I mostly was like laughing and like saying hi to Beetlejuice. But it's a 5 Jacks house. It is so fun. If you like the movie Beetlejuice, you need to go in this. It's like walking through the movie. All the iconic things are there. The wedding dress, the little town model, Beetlejuice's commercial, the music, the snake. It's all there. That was an awesome, awesome house. I'm so glad I'm ending on that house. And if you're a Beetlejuice fan, that's definitely a must-do. As with any event at any theme park, there are a ton of new merchandise items for you to check out. A lot of them are in the tribute store, which we are going to check out in this video, so we will show that. But there's a bunch to be found all over the parks in the different stores and the kiosks. But I want to focus on one very cool thing in the main store here at Universal Studios. They have added Beetlejuice props in here. You've got Dante's right here. You've got Beetlejuice's grave. These are probably recycled from last year's tribute store, but I think that's a really fun addition. There is, again, more merchandise, more Beetlejuice specific stuff in the Beetlejuice section of the tribute store. But as you can see, anything that you would want HHN, they're gonna have. They've got mugs, they've got shirts, they've got hats, pins, masks if you want to be Frankenstein's monster for some reason. They've got bloody popcorn from the director. That's nice. Don't love that, but you might, and you might want to wear Leatherface. I'm not here to judge you. Leatherface cup too. Creeping It Real shirt. Gotta love that. Don't go alone. That's a good t-shirt and a good reminder. I did not listen. I have come alone both times. Beetlejuice shirt, more up my alley. Look at these fun shot glasses with the different icons of Halloween Horror Nights. Very cool cup with the icons of Halloween Horror Nights. So I'm just giving you a very brief overview of the merchandise, and we're gonna go check out the tribute store as well later, where you'll find even more good stuff. I lied, I'm back because I saw this very good shirt. It's got all the different scare zones for the evening. Gorewood Forest, Lights Camera Hackton, Crypt TV, Seek and Destroy, and the 30 Years of 30 Fairs scare zone. Very good shirt. Wait, I keep spotting cool things. I mean, you can wear Beetlejuice leggings if you want, Beetlejuice sock, Beetlejuice hat, and a Beetlejuice shirt. Like, do you want to go head to toe Beetlejuice? Because you can live your dreams. But I really like this stemless wine glass. Back again this year is the tribute store, which is that very cool decorated store that's got different rooms themed to different things applying to Halloween Horror Nights. Now the tribute store is open all the time. Halloween Horror Nights hasn't even started yet, and I'm filming this section, so you don't have to have a ticket to Halloween Horror Nights to go to the tribute store, but it's a great place to get a bunch of souvenirs. They even have some specialty treats in there, so let's go check it out. We have entered the tribute store, and it's a scary old person's house. I've been at Shady Brook for so long now. I'm so glad to finally be back in my home, where I belong. The familiarity of my house is not lost on me, and I can see the intrigue of my other side trying to peer out of the light and dark times. As I sit in my parlor admiring my accomplishments, I cannot help but wonder, will things all happen again? It surely will happen once more. Okay, so a nightmare. I'm getting like big escape room vibes. Anyone here are in the comments a big escape room fan? I'm a huge escape room fan. I do them a lot with Duckfist and Alan and some other members of the team, and like, I love an escape room, and this is what it feels like. I do like this Universal Studios jean jacket with Frankenstein's monster on the back. And then we have an organ playing itself, which is not scary at all. Made it into the next room. We continued the terrifying house, but now we're kicking it up with the terrifying, because the different icons of Halloween Horror Nights who they're celebrating at the 30th event all have a bust, which is nice. So this one's the storyteller, and then this one was the usher. This one is the director, and all of these were different icons from years past. They were like kind of the hosts of the events for iconic years or certain years, and they all have a very scary backstory of like murder. This guy was a film director, and things would go horribly wrong on his sets when he was making horror movies. Here is Chance, another icon, the caretaker, and of course the Mac Daddy of them all. There's Jack. He's definitely the most iconic and notable of the Halloween Horror Night mascots. He's got a big presence here at HHN 30. I found another one of the journal papers. Everything on my walls reminds me of where I've been and who really who I really am, but who am I? Am I a man or a monster? Even I am not sure after the past, but nevertheless, my collective possessions and prized trophies do allow for some semblance of normality. There's many truths to my adventures I cannot even remember anymore, and yet I know this is where I belong. My one true desire is to be free. Oh my goodness. So a team member actually just explained that the person whose house we're in is struggling with letting themselves be the monster or containing it, and that they were from the same asylum as Jack, but I did find another one of their journals. She said to read all the journals and it would give me more clues, but they haven't actually been told whose house this is. The flirtation I feel with the otherworldly is becoming too great. Studying the anatomy of change and what it's doing to me is causing a great sense of urgency and passion for which I cannot seem to tame. The real question is, do I resist the urges or give in again? It's only a matter of time, I'm afraid. I ponder what's next, but it really is out of the question when the duality of myself is at the forefront of my every waking moment in this house. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I found another note. The community is becoming one with me and I'm becoming one with them. We worship the same feelings of psychological penetration from untamed forces. I know that they all feel it too. It's coming and it's bigger than ever. The event of the century. I know they will show up in scores of groups from all around town. The question is, when will we all hunt as one? How much will we feed? Oh, I know what scares me and I know what scares them. The horror will commence tonight. Okay, that's okay. The conservatory, so the fear continues. This room is, whilst it's the conservatory, it is the Beetlejuice merchandise room. So Beetlejuice does have a house this year, and here's where you can get a lot of very cool Beetlejuice merchandise. I found another letter. I can't read that much of it. Everything is beginning to come undone. It's happening again. Shady Brook kept me locked away. That's the mental hospital. Once, but not this time. This time the monster will have his mate and feed. The leather will be stripped from the flesh of the house on the hill. Oh, these are nods to all the different houses, aren't they? Leatherface, house on Haunting Hill. I get it. Will be haunted, and an old icon will emerge once again. I can't read anymore, but I'm very scared. And into the final room we go. This is where you can get some exclusive treats to the treat shop. Some exclusive treats to Halloween Horror Nights. It looks like we've got a carriage here. It's probably, Shady Brook, home for the criminally insane. And I can actually hear someone in there. Neat. More merchandise, and then here is our treat section. So we're definitely gonna go get some stuff there. Look at this case of adorable goodies. What are these?
The cookie dough balls?
Those are cookie dough balls. Those are so cute.
So this one's a peanut butter one, this one's sugar, and then this one's the cake is $10.
Oh my gosh, those are so cute. Okay, so I might have to get one of those. Those look great. And then these are whoopie pies?
These are mashed potatoes.
Oh, those are so cute. What flavor are they?
This one's a mint chocolate, this one's pumpkin, and the cake.
Mint chocolate, pumpkin, and snickerdoodle macarons. Oh, you're speaking my language.
And then the candy corn brownie, the marshmallow pop.
Candy corn brownie, marshmallow pop, and then are those all the same flavor? Or that one's red velvet?
Yeah, red velvet is mint and then dark chocolate. And then s'mores, the brand Frankenstein. The inside flavor magically real.
Oh, cool. What flavor's the cake? Vanilla. So it's a vanilla cake, and then she's got raspberry in her head.
Yeah, and then the Frankenstein inside is like a chocolate and like a vanilla frosting inside.
Chocolate vanilla for Frankenstein.
Coffee brownie.
Oreo?
Yeah, Oreo. It's a brownie.
Oh, it's a brownie, but it's got Oreo on top. And then what flavor? Strawberry and chocolate trifles.
And then the wolf side, like a cream cheese filling.
Cream.
And like a chocolate cake.
Okay, so cream cheese, whoopie pie, and then covered s'mores, apples, super cute.
And then those are the coffee bombs, the cauldron and the pumpkin, and then the skull is another cake.
It's a vegan brownie? Yeah. And what's in the pumpkin bomb?
So those are the ones where you put in hot chocolate and then turn them into
Oh, cool. Cool, thank you. They also have these very decadent looking cupcakes. They're all just either vanilla or chocolate cupcakes with buttercream frosting, and then they have different decor. This one's the HHN 30, there's the scarecrow stock, and then there's also the graveyard cupcake. And then back here, look at this cute little baby Frankenstein. They bust these cool gummies out at every event too. And if you look closely, they actually beat, which is amazing. It doesn't beat once you get it, by the way, it's just a gummy, but on this special board it does. These are called smash pumpkins, and they are milk chocolate pumpkins, and then you smash them open, and inside you've got different Reese's treats and chocolate shavings, house-made candy corn, all kinds of goodies in there, so that's very cute as well. Grabbed a couple of things from the treat cases. I know you're not surprised that I had to get this pumpkin spice macaron, as well as they said the cookie dough bites are one of the most popular items. This is the peanut butter one. I was between that and the sugar cookie, and she goes, just so you know, the sugar cookie's blue inside. And I was like, absolutely not, I will take peanut butter, thank you. First up, I'm gonna eat my pumpkin, whose face is melting, but he is fantastic. You may know I'm a big fan of the pumpkin spice. The cookie part is perfect macaron consistency. It's light and airy, and then the filling is perfect and airy as well. Not super heavy treat. It's got that fantastic pumpkin spice autumnal flavor. It's not super sweet pumpkin spice, like it doesn't taste artificially flavored pumpkin spice. It tastes more like pumpkin pie spice that you buy in a jar and put inside your coffee every single day. It's gonna be hard to beat this for me because I love pumpkin. That is really good. I am also trying the very melty peanut butter bite of cookie dough, so I'm actually gonna cut it. It is like so melted. Am I gonna get salmonella? No, I'm not. They wouldn't do that. It's safe edible cookie dough, don't worry, but it tastes like I just straight up took cookie dough out of the bowl when my mom's making peanut butter cookies and I snuck a few bites. That's what it tastes like. They had sugar cookie. They said that's blue though inside, so if you're like me and you don't like your mouth turning colors, maybe avoid the sugar cookie. Or they have a chocolate chip cookie dough one, but that's just a nice little bite. I think this is a perfect size treat. It's just one little pop of a bite, and there's gonna be so much you want to eat in your Universal Day or at Halloween Horror Nights. It's nice when things are like more manageable size-wise. So 2 thumbs up for both of these treats. I am about to do the Jacked Up experience at Cabana Bay. This is a special free experience that any resort guest can do. And if you're staying at Cabana Bay, you actually get to go through an expedited line. It is an experience into Jack's mind. We're gonna hear a lot about Jack the Clown throughout this video. And Jack the Clown is one of the horror icons. He's probably the most famous of the horror icons. So there's some photo ops in there, some walkthrough moments. It is still spooky scary, but it's definitely not one of the houses. I think this is going to be a good way for me to test the waters because as far as the filming order of events went, I did this first. So let's get jacked up, I guess. The music is very stressful though. There's like creepy Jack in the Box music, which tracks.
You ready to become maniacs?
I don't know.
Did you miss me?
So the Jacked Up experience is definitely creepy, but it's not super scary. It would be a good tester if you're not sure if your kids are gonna be scared of Halloween Horror Nights or not. If they think that is like not even 1% scary, great. If they are scared, maybe that's not for them. Well, friends, that is a wrap on my HHN 30 video here at Universal Studios Florida. And honestly, I came into this event being literally terrified. I've only been to Halloween Horror Nights a handful of other times, and I was super scared, particularly of that Texas Chainsaw Massacre house. And while that house and others were absolutely terrified, I totally get why people love this event. It is a lot of fun. Not only is there great food and drinks, but the houses are so detailed and so intricately put together. It was really fun learning the backstory, so I highly recommend doing that. But going into the houses, knowing how much work was gone into them, we're having some favorite icons and stories come to life around you. It's really, really neat. Those scare zones, love some of that entertainment. So I really had a great time both nights at Halloween Horror Nights 2021, Halloween Horror Nights 30. I definitely think if you're an HHN fan, you will love this year. There are so many things as homages to the fans, as homages to Halloween Horror Nights over the years. You've got a house dedicated to icons, you've got a scare zone dedicated to icons, you've got Jack floating about. So there's a lot of good stuff when it comes to icons. I think everybody will love the Beetlejuice house. So if you are a complete scaredy cat, there are definitely things you're going to enjoy and things that are going to scare you more than others. But honestly, I had a great time. And I think this is definitely, I understand why this is a premier Halloween event, and I understand why people come to this event over and over again year after year. So are you coming to HHN? Definitely let us know down in the comments what house are you most excited about, which house is your favorite. Definitely let us know that as well. What questions do you have? Let us know all of that down in the comments. In the meantime, friends, make sure to rate, review, subscribe to our channel, follow us on social media at AllEars.net, and until next time, friends, I'm Molly, and it's been spooky. Hey, it's Molly here. Want to see more of my videos? Click over here. Want to subscribe? You can do that right here. And also, ring that notification bell to make sure you get instantly notified anytime we post a new video. Thanks for following. See you real soon.